Carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere have reached a dangerous level, and it could take generations to reverse it. CCTV's Nathan King explains why exceeding this threshold means for the environment.
This announcement is a big wake-up call. The world may have signed a historic climate deal last year in Paris and a recent deal in Kigali, Rwanda on limiting chlorofluorocarbons, but it's an indication that the world is losing the race against time when it comes to global warming. The increase partly blamed on emissions linked to the warming effect of El Nino weather patterns, but the levels are set to stay high and go even higher. And the UN is warning when carbon dioxide reaches levels like this, it is very difficult to get rid of.
Its lifetime is very long, and there have been some scientific studies estimating that the return back to pre-industrial levels may take tens of thousands of years, and therefore it's really urgent that we start reducing the emissions of carbon dioxide.
Seeing just how quickly the concentration of carbon has built up, look at this historical chart dating back 400,000 years. You see a cyclical move up and down until the last 25, 30 years or so, and then suddenly the levels soar to a near vertical climb that never goes back down. By at least one measure, CO2 emissions are up 144% since the start of the Industrial Revolution. And remember, many countries are still rapidly developing. Look at this color-coded map, for example, of the world. It shows the regions producing the highest concentration of carbon emissions in darker red. As you can see, they are largely in the northern hemisphere, and with global development, this map could look far worse towards the south in years to come. Now, the Paris Agreement, which, as we know, is meant to keep the world from warming 2 degrees above Celsius, above pre-industrial levels. If possible, the agreement calls for an even more ambitious goal, capping the temperature rise at 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels. Well, bad news. This year saw the planet cross that 1.5 degree threshold. The Paris Climate Accord is now in effect, but it will take time to see if nations are delivering on their pledges and whether they will have any effect. So the focus now is on what are called quick wins, actions that can be implemented quickly and can have a big effect. One is the reduction of chlorofluorocarbons used in air conditioners and refrigerators, especially here in the United States. A global agreement on those could dramatically see reductions in just a few years. We'll see what happens with that agreement, but the real win will be in the decades and centuries to come, only if countries can make the switch from carbon-emitting energy like coal to clean energies like wind and solar, and of course other renewables as well. Nathan King, CCTV, Washington.